Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what seems to be my never-ending quest to try to finish off this mech and actually finally get one all the way up to max level. Now, it does seem that leveling your mech doesn't entirely depend on your skill level, as you guys have seen. I am not necessarily the best person to play, but that said, I do wind up having a lot of fun with this. Last time we've run through, we wound up with Siege and Missile Assault, and we wound up doing well enough that we wound up winning at least one of each. So I'm going to go ahead and hit any mode. I do believe that we're probably going to wind up in a team deathmatch just because that seems to be the way the night has gone, although I could be completely wrong, and we could wind up in a straight-up deathmatch where I die horribly, miserably, and cry a lot. So, hopefully, at least you guys will be entertained if I do so. We'll kind of get to see here in a moment what kind of a match. I was trying to get mission and match mixed up and wound up with Mitch for a second. Yep, it does look like team deathmatch. Yeah, so it looks like we're kind of outnumbered 2-1 as far as combat goes. So we'll see if we can't actually get some kind of kills out of this. Kind of a horrible thing that we're pretty easily outmatched. Although again, honestly, we could very easily be outmatched because the people who are playing against us are flat out better. I don't know. I haven't really had the opportunity to kind of sort that out, although obviously me rushing into a battle like that is not necessarily the best thing for me to do. We do want to try to get Tasty Sandwich here killed, and we obviously want to see if we can't get at least 2 kills per death, and that's gonna wind up obviously making us look like, not that we're the best person in the game, but that we're at least competent enough that we can kind of hang with the rest of everybody else. Looks like we are catching up very quickly here, and we're going to see if we can't kind of, make this out and not necessarily turn it around and do a huge victory, but turn it into enough of a win that we can actually win out of it. Obviously, I think we have somebody here who's a little bit ticked off at us for killing them in the past, but I'm honestly not entirely sure. And it does look like we wound up 3 kills for 1 death, so that looks like that's obviously we're not the best person, but, better than nothing. It's better than no kills and a couple of deaths here. I'm gonna see about, going and getting this guy taken care of, because that's really kind of, oh god, that was horrible. That was just a dumb mistake. I knew that decision probably wasn't the best in the world, but so tasty and delicious when you see somebody who's almost dead and you want to go after him and kiss him with your rocket launcher. I mean, obviously that's something that everybody kind of wants to do, and really hard to not make that mistake here and wind up dying horribly out of it. Kind of weird that he made the decision to run right past me and obviously wind up dead here. Although at the end of the day, I'm not entirely surprised considering the last thing I did. I kind of did the same thing. You know what? In some degrees, I actually completely agree with Thor, but at the same time, I think under certain circumstances, switching out of Vulcan cannon could be really good for you, because Vulcan is really good at close-up range, but at middle to long-range distance, it just doesn't do enough damage. And that's going to be something we're going to try to take care of here and get this guy taken out. I think we will be able to take him, but I think we're going to wind up dead. Ugh, not quite. Ugh, that's really, really... I'm pretty sure that the Berserkers get Vulcan cannons, but, not entirely certain for that. We're gonna see what we can do here. Let's see if we can't do enough damage to help take this guy out here. I mean, obviously, that's going to be something that God, and again, we were really damn close. We probably would have killed him had it not been for his friend helping him. And now Tasty Sandwich gets himself healed all the way back up. I think he did wind up losing that because while he was healed, it looked like one of my teammates was jumping all over him. So I'm hoping that we did get that kill here. But it's still a little bit frustrating to be that close to having that win against one particular person and having somebody else jump into the match and kind of help you lose, should I say. And it does look like if we really are able to, yeah, Thor wound up killing us. We did take out 2 for that 1 kill, so obviously that's going to be good for us that we were able to do that. I'm not sure a whole hell of a lot how much we were able to hold out for that. Just because of the fact that I wound up with, I don't think I want to say I had low health there. I had probably somewhere in the middle range of health, but at the long aspect of it, I was pretty damn close to overheating, and I think I had already used my heat sinks, although I'm not entirely certain about that. We're gonna take a look here. Kind of gonna run with the rest of our group and see if we can't get some kills here out of all this. Obviously, we're really close to. Even if we wind up catching more kills than deaths, we are so close to the end of... Yeah, and that's going to wind up giving them 35 kills, and that's exactly what we didn't want to do. Kind of painful to watch everybody else not see the guy that killed me, but there's not really a whole hell of a lot I can do about that. I mean, obviously, if I started talking to everybody else, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys and tell you how much fun I was or, obviously wasn't having. Gonna see what we can do here. Painful match. Do think that it's going to be really, really close as to whether or not we can... Yeah, I lost him. I lost him completely, and him killing me kind of ended that match. Oh, God, that was really close. You know what, honestly? Had we started from the beginning, we might have been able to win that. I'm not 100% certain, but it was actually kind of fun. I really did have some fun with that. Playing against a couple of guys who are still running around in the recruit. Recruit has, again, I'm going to say the recruit is a damned good mech. The assault seems to be a straight upgrade to it, but it's about the only mech that's a straight upgrade to anything, and I think in the long run, it is still a little bit slower, so that might, in some aspects, every now and then actually be able to give you enough of an edge that you can wind up beating that. So we'll see how we do. I'm gonna hang on with this round and see what we can do. Yeah. And you know what? To be honest with you, I've never said that I'm the best person in the world, and frankly, I admit the fact that I'm really, really horrible at this. I'm actually kind of looking forward to getting that assault rifle and hoping that, first off, if nothing else, taking a look at the damage difference between that assault rifle and every other assault rifle in the game. I cannot speak at all for tonight, and I do apologize for that to you guys. I mean, apparently my tongue just really doesn't want to say the words that I want to say, the words that are coming to my mind. So anyway, I would like to compare that prestige assault rifle to the standard assault rifle. God, I just can't do it. To the standard assault rifle and see if the damage is a little bit different. I mean, the first thing that you're gonna do is hit take a look at the different damage ratios and see what that does. We're going to go ahead and launch and die horribly. Ooh, hey, look, we're not in the sand anymore. I'm actually kind of having some fun with some of the sand levels. This one seems to be a match that I really get a lot, and I'm not that I hate it, just that I'd rather run some of the other ones. Just because they're a little bit... Not because it's horrible, but it's simply because of the fact that it's a little bit fun sometimes to run some of the levels that you don't see all the time, and that kind of is the thing for me. I do know the levels on this game well enough to, I maybe not necessarily dominate, but to at least make a difference pretty much any match that I play. There's one or two that I do tend to get lost in, but for the most part, I am able to find myself and kind of get everything sorted out. This match is, or this level in particular, tends to be one of those levels where you see it almost every other mission. And, yep, yes, I am completely aware of that. And we are going to try to do some long distance damage here. I mean, obviously we don't want to give ourselves away too much or too quickly, but at the same time, we do want to be able to do enough damage to kind of take somebody out. Wow, that's, hopefully we can get Sandwich dead. Yeah, there we go. So that was definitely a kill for us, and we're gonna see what we can do here. I have actually taken a look at the numbers, and it looks like deathmatch is my worst, and team deathmatch is my second worst for whatever reason. It does seem like missile assault we've actually got 10 and 10 on, and the siege were like 17 and 15 or something like that. It's within a margin of error that shows us that we're actually really damn close. It's the deathmatch and the team deathmatch that we really just don't do so well at. And does look like, you know, that's one of those levels where you know, it just kind of causes us issues. Now we are gonna try to take this guy out, if nothing else than the fact that you know, obviously we see him taking on some of our teammates, and we're gonna see what we can do about that, and you know, kind of get him dead. And ooh, wow, yeah, he sees me, I think. He looks like lunch. Ooh, wow. Yeah, let's. Well, you know what? We have we have gotten 2 or 3 kills for our 1 death, so obviously we are ahead here. I mean, as long as we can hold that ratio 2 or 3 to 1, isn't bad. Actually, especially for me. You know, honestly, frankly, there are times when I'm lucky to get 1 kill for 1 death. And I really do enjoy the times when I can actually get... Oh, wow, that was really nice here. I really do enjoy the times when I can get, you know, more than that. I definitely do have 1 kill. I'm hoping to get 1 more before I die horribly. And we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, we did get him. And that in and of itself... being able to get that second kill before you die is really what winds up being important for the match in the long run. Is just knowing that you're able to dominate not necessarily every pilot, but at least 1 pilot long enough to be able to give your team you know, that little bit of an edge. I haven't done really, really great this time around, but I have done just good enough that we're a little bit ahead of where we were last time around. And that really winds up being important. You know, obviously, I just really screwed up there. And if I can get him... God, that was so close. I do think he actually wound up dead. He was really, really low on health. No, he didn't. Nobody's actually wound up finishing him off, which kind of is a problem for me. This is a really, really close match, and I like the way this setup is going. I really do like the fact that we are able to kind of be very evenly matched, and that's really horrible. I just fucking gave them a win. That was... Yeah, that was just dumb on my part. Let's see if we can do something a little bit smarter this time around. And, you know, maybe we won't give them a win. Maybe we can take a win or take a kill before we lose a life. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, is just that at least 1-to-1, hopefully 2-to-1. And that's kind of where I'm trying to consistently get. And maybe I'm not going to get that every match, but at least I can get to the point to where I can get that more often than not. And that really, for right now, is my goal. And beyond that, obviously that's, you know, eventually my goal is going to be a hell of a lot better than that. But right now, I'm just trying to get good enough that I can help my team win. And I'm not the best. God, I keep saying that. I keep talking about how horrible I am. And frankly, it kind of annoys me. Made some dumb decisions there. But was able to get that kill. Had some help, but in the long run, I was, kind of made a difference. We really need to kind of catch up here. No, don't be done. Let's get this. We can still win this. We can still win this. We are better than they are. We are. We absolutely flat out broke R. And I think what he doesn't realize is we will make this. Oh, come on. I wanted that kill. I really, really wanted that kill. Oh, God. I thought he saw me. I thought for sure he saw me. There's a lot of times where it does seem like that they should see me, but they don't quite. And that's gonna kind of be, the big thing here. Is can I get those kills in those instances when I think they see me, but they don't? Damn. Maybe shouldn't have gone into that, but I needed to get another kill. I flat out needed to get another kill. And it looks like so close. We are better than they are. I am going to flat out say that. I think it looks like Sandwich and Thor are kind of running together, but they kind of wound up on the opposite teams. Not necessarily too fun for them, but you know what? Honestly, sometimes when I'm coming to get you really does look like it's going to be the most fun thing to do. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I was able to get that, and really kind of going to be the big thing here is, ooh. Yep. I knew he was behind me. Really was trying to get away from him, but at the last minute there, it didn't look like that was going to really happen. Ooh, not staging. I want to launch. I want to launch. Ooh, wow. Again, this is a really, really close match. Gonna be really fun. Whether we win or lose out of this one, I think I'm gonna have fun with this. I've really, really enjoyed what I've done so far, and that's really kind of just been in a very brief amount of time. I'm gonna stick with this, I think, for the next couple of rounds and see if we can't fight through it until we actually get a win out of it and get the bonus money and bonus EXP. But still, it's just been... I almost want to say it seems like they're running away because they know we have the slight edge, and they're trying to get that that benefit of getting the drop on somebody, and obviously getting a kill out of somebody who may or may not necessarily get that. It's been really close. This whole fight has been really close, which is good. I like that. It's fun. It has been freaking awesome that way. I just used my... Oh, I don't have my ability. There we go. And I'm screwed. I am absolutely screwed, which is going to kind of be a bad thing. I was hoping for that to kind of just unlock it. There were two guys that I almost killed, and it's frustrating when that happens. It is simply frustrating, and that's one of the reasons why I was saying that I'm not sure that in the long run, that I think that they are necessarily the best to always have the Vulcan cannon. There we go. We are 33 and 35. I am really hoping that we can kind of get these two final kills out of this whole mess. This is really going to be a close damn fight. Doesn't quite look like... God, that's frustrating. That is severely frustrating. Oh, God, that is frustrating. Oh, wow. 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 Holy shit. That was one of the best matches I have ever ever had. Holy shit, guys. Holy shit. That was really, really fun. It just, the closeness of it. I know, I know, I know. I would be saying the same thing he's saying had I been on his side. Oh God, had I been on his side, I would be absolutely saying the same damn thing. Wow. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this. I'm gonna run one more match. Hopefully, I will get just enough EXP out of that last match to get the next level, so I can show you guys what the elite version of my mech looks like. Now that said, if you already play this game, you probably already know. You probably already know what it looks like. You probably already know all the differences for the mechs and everything else. And honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you decided, hey, look, I'm not going to really follow this anymore because, you know, I see exactly what you're doing. That said, one of my goals is, and I mean, this is really kind of a lofty goal and a long-term goal, but one of my goals is to just go through every mech and systematically go from the beginning to the end and level it up and max it out. That way, hey, once they start releasing the next tier mechs for all of them, we'll have enough money first off, and we'll have that already available for everybody else. Wow, looks like everyone else has kind of just left the match. So I'm going to go ahead and leave too. I'm actually going to pause this here for a moment, not because I want to, but because I have a couple of things that I really, really have to do right here. And I will come back probably here in about 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll go ahead and take over from there, and we'll just jump into another match, maybe a straight up death match, and we'll see what we can do. I'll see you guys here in just a moment, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, and welcome back. I apologize for that rather impromptu biological break, but there are certain times when you just have to do something and it kind of comes up in the middle of a section and you really don't have any other choice. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play the only thing that we haven't actually done tonight, and I really hesitate to do this only because I know I'm going to wind up dying horribly in it, is the straight up death match. It's the only match that I haven't gotten the extra credits for. It's the only match that I haven't gotten the daily win on. I'm going to go ahead and try that, and we'll see what we can do with it. I'm not sure. Missile Assault might have been long ago enough, because I do tend to start around 11 p.m. and run till like 1 or 2 a.m. And Missile Assault may have been long ago enough that we might even still be able to get the daily credits. I'm not sure if it goes I'm not sure if it sets up for midnight Eastern, or if it's Pacific, or if it's anything else. It looks like I may as well have just gone ahead and switched and set and run to the bathroom and come back. But you know what? I'm going to leave. Flat out, I'm going to leave. I think we're going to go ahead and try that Missile Assault. The straight up deathmatch didn't seem like that was going to work for me anyway. And I'm really not good enough to get into some of these death matches anyway. I wind up horribly, horribly outmatched. And it winds up kind of just being a depressing thing. So we're just going to go ahead and run a Missile Assault. Hopefully, if we can get that match running, we will. If that winds up being a bust too, I think we're just going to wind up leaving and then just picking any, and we'll go with Team Deathmatch, which seems to be the any match of the day. It does seem to be one of those things that kind of, once you hit any, that just puts you in one kind of match for that particular day. It does seem to be one of those things where it's pretty consistently you have one kind of match, and that's just about it. Wow. I'm actually taking a look at this belt loop in my pants, and somebody sewed it on completely wrong. It is, one side is one way, one side is the other, and it has a permanent perpetual twist in it. You guys really don't care about that. I don't know why I'm telling you. I'm just being weird, and I don't want to say bored, because I'm obviously not bored. I'm just looking for something to talk to while we kind of go through this and see what we can do here. Okay, so 5 people on one side is going to be a bad thing. 3 on one, 2 on the other. I'm hoping that we get somebody else on their side so that we don't completely dominate them from the very, very beginning, because that winds up putting them in a situation where they have to come back from it, and it's a little bit frustrating for them, but it's even more frustrating for me because it doesn't... help me know that, hey, look, we're a better team. It just says, hey, look, you can dominate 3-on-2. That doesn't tell you you're better. Oh, come on. I want the safety subsystems to fail. Oh, well. I'm going to go ahead and go after one here. Hopefully that will be... Okay. That is English all the way up till we get to big time. That means... I have no idea what he means there. Yeah, right. There we go. Winds up being 4-on-3. And again, it's still a little bit mismatched. Enough so that this could be interesting. I'm gonna repair up here. I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm assuming that this is just some kind of somebody kind of either talking to himself or he's just being goofy. He's talking to somebody else who knows what the hell he's talking about. And at this point, oh wow, this is gonna start being, now it's 4-3 in the other direction. It's sort of 3-3, but Ooh, wow, they really kind of... This has kind of been a fight. It's pretty much an even fight here. Gonna be really kind of twitchy. I mean, obviously they're gonna be coming for me here. And they could be coming from any direction. One of these guys. And I'm hoping... God, wow, I just got my ass handed to me. I was actually really hoping to be able to take care of him. Primarily because the bigger mechs tend to be mechs that I do really well against, but that just did not seem to be the case in that particular situation. We're going to see what we can do here. We are going to slow down so they don't necessarily know that we're coming. And we're going to try to see what we can do about Silo 3 here. And kind of take care of these guys. And see if we can get the drop. That's really kind of odd. I thought... Okay, so they've got some kind of something going on here. They actually have one of the items that I'm looking for, which happens to be an item that allows you to kind of throw random radar signatures all over the damn map. That's really kind of what I'm looking for and hoping for at some point. Looks like, though, that they really do tend to go after one silo at a time, which means that we can hold the other two and maybe get some wins out of this. I know I saw you. God. Yeah, no, I would say that had that not been yeah, there we go. So it does look like we've got a full teams on both sides. I would say that had there not been two of them on me, that I would have been able to win that, except for the fact that heat mech just kind of owned my ass, and really does look like he's doing a pretty damn good job of that. Looks like I'm the... Well, I don't want to say I'm the only one because there's two of us here, but we really need to kind of just stretch out and spread out and take out some of the other silos and see what we can do here. Obviously taking care of one of their silos is really good and important decision. Did I get him? I think I did. I killed him right at the same time I killed myself. You know what? I mean, to be frank, these guys are kind of just dicking around, and I think that leaving for right now, or not leaving right now, but leaving once this match ends is probably going to be in my best interest. It really doesn't look like they give so much of a shit about the match as more as they do mutually talking to each other is a nice way to put it. I was gonna say something else, but you know, I'm really not gonna be an ass about it. Although I'm not sure why, because I'm an ass about everything else. Oh wow, this has been kind of an interesting match. It's kind of been a back and forth, but they've held two silos a little bit longer than we have, which means that in the long run, unless we get three held and captured for a little bit, we're probably going to wind up losing here. Oh wow, every single one of them is on me. And that's going to be kind of an issue. For me, God, not quite. I was really hoping that I was able to take out their heavy mech, and that just really didn't seem to be something that was going to be in the cards for me. Looks like, yeah, they're going to wind up... I mean, unless we can really get a hold of three here for just a few minutes, just long enough to make a difference, that's probably going to wind up being our downfall, is that they were able to get and hold three here for just long enough to cause some issues for us, and unless we can take that back. I thought that there was another mech with me. I'm certain that there was another mech with me. Yeah. Yeah, and okay, so it does look like, you know, I mean, they kind of keep getting and holding three here for a few seconds at a time, but that winds up being just long enough. That winds up being just long enough. Yeah, and I ended a kill streak. Hey, look, more EXP for me. But in the long run, that's not going to wind up being exactly what I want. I want to win this match, and I just don't think that that's going to wind up happening. We're not quite. I want to say, I don't want to say dedicated enough, because that's the wrong word for it. We're not quite collected enough. I don't know. We're not quite sane enough. Yeah, there we go. That's the word for it. Kind of seems like they're holding us to one area, and even that winds up being a problem for me, because if nothing else, I had that, and I pressed my special ability, and that didn't quite work out for me. So, you know, that's going to be an issue for me in the long run. Does look like I need to get my ass up, because if I don't, I'm going to wind up dead here. And, yeah, let's see what we can do with this guy. I mean, obviously, we need to get out of his heat range, and that's going to cause me not just enough problems. That's going to cause me to be dead. And we are 400 points under, actually almost 500 points under, and that is going to be, you know, quite a bit to come back from, especially when we only have one silo versus them having two. Like I said, I think we kind of needed to hold three here for a minute for them to really, for that to be really enough of a difference, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. Didn't do enough damage to anybody to really make enough of a difference here. I was hoping that the one guy I did some damage to was going to be kind of in the middle of the fight, but it wasn't. It wound up being right on the outside edge of the firefight. He was able to get out and just, you know, he was able to get out and kind of dominate everybody else, and yeah. So that winds up being, can I get anything dead? No, he winds up hiding behind three other mechs, and that caused me to die horribly while he wound up slightly surviving and being able to repair out of that. I was hoping, you know, that wasn't the only that wasn't what was going to happen, but, you know, there's times when you win some, you lose some, and it seems to be tonight has been mostly my here, let's lose some matches. For the most part, I'm actually just flat out ignoring what's on the map and kind of just trusting what I see. Obviously, that's going to be kind of an issue. God, he was so close. Had it just been me and him, I think we would have won. I think I would have won that. But there were two other people, and it just was just enough DPS that I wasn't able to get him down before anything else happened. I'm tempted to switch to a heavier mech for this, but I really, really want to finally finish out this that one particular level, and I don't think that that's going to be. Yeah, there we go. I think. God, I want him dead. I seriously, I just flat out want him dead. That was really frustrating. Um, and that was kind of what I was hoping for here. We're not going to win this. I mean, we could, in theory, get a win out of this, but I just don't see that happening. We did get the capture right before I got my ass handed to me. Was trying to get Ex Machina. He got a really hell of a drop on me before I even had the chance to kind of jump into the fight, and that was a little bit of an issue. Obviously that was something that let him just kind of rip me apart. I was in the middle of repairing, and that's always a bad place to be caught. There are a lot of times when that just flat out happens, and God. Yep. Just not as aware of the battlefield as I really would have liked to be tonight. Apparently, I'm just missing a lot of things, and that's causing me enough issues that I'm not contributing enough to our team, and that's going to be, at least on my part, that's kind of my fault, and there's not a whole hell of a lot that I can do about it other than be frustrated and say, damn it, I should be better than this. But that said, yeah. Again, hey, look, I'm trying to get away from that thing. The EMP just kind of shut me down just long enough to cause that guy. Had I been able to keep him in my sights and keep him shot at, I would have been able to make a kill. And that's kind of the frustrating thing is they're not, metrically fuck ton better, but they're just enough better to make it count. And that's kind of, I think that's, in the few matches that I have won tonight, that's kind of where we've been pretty much doing the same thing. There every now and then we're getting just good enough in our matches where, honestly, if we don't hold 3 right now and for quite some time, we're gonna lose this. And I think I've said already we're flat not gonna win this. But in the matches that we do win, we're not a hell of a lot better than everybody else that we fight, but we are just coordinated enough. We're just together enough that we can go ahead and make that win, and that winds up being what pulls us out ahead. I mean, 0 to 795, it's not great. I mean, I would much rather it be 0 to 100 or 0 to 90 or something like that, and that would show me that, hey, look, I'm making enough progress that I'm able to do enough damage to these guys that I'm fighting against, but I'm not quite there, and really it's for me, taking on one heavy mech I can do. Taking on 2 heavy mechs is a hell of a lot harder. And that's just, kind of been the way the thing has gone. Not quite enough. I'm not quite there. And it's frustrating because I should be there. And I'm not quite there. And I feel like I'm letting everybody that fights me, fights with me down. And that's one of those things that, obviously I need to work on that. I think had I not taken, quite so much time between... Wow, can I do this? Had I not taken so much time between some of the matches, I think I'd be doing a little bit better. But even so, obviously that's just one of those things that I have to really work on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mechs. For 12,816. I am really, really close. I am like 600 points away from purchasing another mech. The G2 Assault really does look like that's the one that I really, really want. The Incinerator. That's the one that I was looking for. I keep calling it like the Flamethrower and all kinds of other stupid things, but not quite 100% sure of what it is exactly. Now let's take a look at that. Oh wow, that's a lot. Quite a bit. Damage is 71. Let's take a look at I believe it was the CRT recruit starts with that. 71, 54, 50, 19, 35. 71, 54, 50, 19, 35. Okay, so it is exactly the same. The Prestige assault rifle is no different than the assault rifle that starts with the CRT Recruit. You know what? Honestly, I have almost enough money that I can wind up buying something else. If I really wanted a different gun, I would probably switch to the submachine gun. I think I'm just gonna stick with the assault rifle. Little bit disappointed here. I was hoping that because it was a prestige weapon, I'd get a little bit more out of it. That said, let's go ahead and take a look at the cosmetics, and I can show you guys what this thing looks like once it's completely decked out with the Elite chassis. And that was really kind of I'm not gonna play around with that right this second. But I do want to show you guys, this is what it looks like once I've gotten all the upgrades and everything for it. The paint pattern does not show through that, but hey, look, it's a cop. I am the police. That's actually really kind of funny. I'm kind of curious about the arms. Wait, here we go. Yeah, the Elite arms. The arms actually still stay black. Kind of a little bit surprised about that, considering everything else is blue and white. But you know, it would be really awesome if these lights here would flash blue and white while I was chasing everybody down. Obviously, that would be a little bit fun. But that said, I think I am gonna kind of go back to my standard mech setup with the other colors to it. Once I get through, I think Muller was the other one that I actually had. I was keeping the Elite arms on because they are flat black. Once I get through and get everything else sorted out, though, I may take a look at once I open up the G2 chassis, if that becomes an option for me, actually going ahead and setting up the Elite version for the G2 chassis. That may be what I do next. That said, we have actually gotten our rank 5. 4, 5. Yeah, I can count tonight. Next round, or once we get that rank 6, we open up the M1 Desert Flak. We also open up the option to buy the G2 Assault Mech, and that's really kind of what I'm hoping for. I really want to get that other mech opened up. That said, I really kind of like the way the Recruit Elite looks. Also, like, where did we go? Where do we go? The Bruiser. The Bruiser Elite is absolutely all black from top to bottom, and that actually really was kind of a cool thing. Items: submachine gun, point D Vulcan it starts with, and the Prestige Assault Rifle is the final unlock. Almost might even switch to the Bruiser next and see if we can open up every single piece for that, simply because I really do like the black mechs and I like the way they look. That said, I think we're going to kind of call it a night here. I've really enjoyed running through this with you guys. I love the fact that we actually finally got that 5th level. We do have one more level to go. Couple hundred points more as far as the money goes. If I am able to get enough money to purchase 2 mechs, I will probably buy the incinerator next before we get to that final level. But even if I don't, by the time we get all the way up to that last and final 6th level, we should have enough money that either A, we can unlock some other internal items on the assault mech that I already currently have, or we can kind of open up some of the other items for the G2 Assault, or we may just hold off and say, hey, look, you know what, I'm 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 short. I'm just going to wind up sitting here on this money and then going ahead and saving that up to open up every single mech. I really do want the opportunity to go through and review every mech in this game for you guys, and then kind of once I've played through all of them, kind of give you a different perspective on something. You know, I mean, even if it winds up only being 2 or 3 levels into each particular mech, I would like to give you my initial thoughts on those mechs and then a secondary or tertiary thought on those mechs once I've actually had enough opportunity to play them long enough to open up some of the extra levels, some of the extra weapons, and some of the extra internal gear, and you know, let you guys know, do I still hold to that original thought, or does this mech wind up coming into its own once I get the opportunity to open up some of the other options that are available for it? Anyway, again, I will let you guys go. I've really enjoyed running this tonight with you, and I hope you guys have had as much fun as I have. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.